Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if you're in this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment. And please always come back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate your big support to this platform. And in today's video, we are going to have a little bit of Mayuguno in our discussion. And then also we are going to have, the so-called negative reactors who have now resorted into fighting themselves in public. In public, you can imagine. Fighting themselves in public. you know, sometime back we said it will come to pass, and now this is the time. So please watch the video from the beginning up to the end, and also please, we are going to have a little bit about the princess, that is the mwango, on our discussion here, because there are some individuals who are trying to provoke some stories that is actually not true. So we are going to be in position also to handle that in our discussion. So please remember to put a notification bell so that actually, you don't miss out on some of these videos that will actually be coming out directly to your screen. Let's start this video as it comes. So I was able to watch a few videos today, and actually a lot is happening in the streets. I also saw the so-called the lion accusing, congrats mom, that using local herbs, it means somebody is turning to be a native doctor, which is actually not true, because a lot of our people here actually in Africa relies on local medicine. That is the fact. There are people who actually want just to deceive themselves. Even when before they could not even afford the real medicine, the medicine from the hospitals or clinics, most of these individuals used actually local medicine before. But now they want to deceive us like that. Now their life have changed. Things are really moving so well on their side, which is actually a very, very big lie. I can assure you that individuals, even in their families, they are still using local medicine. Yes. And this local medicine, according to actually people who use them, they are very, very active. No, they cure very fast. Me personally, I don't know much about the local medicine. Yes, but I see people, and they sell them, by the way. They sell them. Actually, the person who rescued uh, us here in Uganda during the time of COVID was actually a professor who started making local medicine. And I can assure you, because there are testimonies that came out of that. He's called Professor Ogwang, and he discovered a local medicine, a mix. He mixed local herbs, local medicine, and he came out with a medicine called Covidex. And that Covidex actually is the one that rescued a lot of people who were in ICU during the time of COVID. And actually, people got fine. People got fine. People who were doing very, very badly during that time. So that Covidex was very, very popular. Even right now, if you use that medicine, Covidex, maybe when you have flu or you have cough, then you use that medicine, that medicine called Covidex. I can assure you that flu or the cough will just disappear like never before. So it works. Even me personally, I've ever used that Covidex. When you have blocked nose, then you put that Covidex, it can just open, like, within seconds. The moment you just put like this, it opens. I know some people, when I'm talking like this, you'll be like, how? Here. It worked here. that medicine worked here and it saved a lot of people. It saved life. Covidex, it saved life here in Uganda. And it was even being sold to East African communities, all these countries within the East Africa, it was being sold. You know, even beyond East Africa, that local medicine being made here in Uganda by a professor called Dr. Ogwang. You know, it's called Dr. something Ogwang. It's called, yes, Professor Ogwang. You know, the name of the medicine is called Covidex. You can search, you know, you can search and you'll be in position to see, you know, how really that medicine saved a lot of people here in Uganda. It reached a point where hospitals were taking people's land titles because you don't have the money to pay the bills, and people could just go there with their land titles, you know, treat me, my land title is here, you can sell it with the time, if you know. When that medicine came out, let me tell you, it was a miracle here in Africa, here in Uganda. Lives were saved, you know. Let me tell you, during the time of COVID, there was a lot of noise of, you know, in a hollow road, you move and you don't even see a person, you know. And what you could only hear is sound of ambulances rushing with people up and down, you know. But when this medicine was discovered, Covidex, it did not even take 1 full month, you know, though somehow it was discovered late. You know, some people lost their lives. And this professor actually comes from my home area. Meanwhile, people were crying that they're waiting for approval of the medicine from ministries or what. You know, it's a long process. For us in our home area, he had taken the medicine in our home area there. It was being sold. You know, even at first they were giving them for free. You just need a drop to save somebody's life. A drop. A drop. And it works. Because me, I tried it with the flu and cough. It works. But when they drop it in your nose, because for COVID, see, they drop it in your nose. Let me tell you, you'll jump up 20 times. Because here it is real painful if they drop it on your nose. Me, I've never dropped it because I didn't want to, you know, but I put it. You feel like a whole of this part is burning inside when you put it. It works. I know there are people who will be here like, hey, it works, the medicine works. You know, there are people who want to say Africans don't discover. That one was discovered here. And there are a lot of people who use it and they're still alive up to now. During that peak of COVID, you know, when hospital, you know, here hospitals were getting full, you know, because of COVID. But when the medicine was given, let me tell you, people went back to their homes, you know, and people started hoarding that medicine. You go to the pharmacy, they tell you it is not there. Then somebody tells you on the side, do you have this amount of money? You know? Yet the medicine was very, very cheap. I think it was even less. It was around $3. $3. Was it $3 or even less than that? According to the person who discovered it. That is to the final consumer. You know? To the final consumer. It was supposed to be around $3 or $2, something like that. But people, people, when they discovered that the medicine was working, people started hoarding medicine. People started selling it very, very expensively. A medicine that was supposed to be like for $3, $2, people were selling it $20. And if you don't have that money, you are finished. You know, $20, $30, depending on where you're going to buy it. You know, it became a hot cake. But the good thing, the rate at which they were releasing or producing them, they are producing them in bulk. And that is how, if you have never been told, that is how life was saved here in the country. I know some people can be like, David, it is no. Do you know what you're talking about? You go to Google, go and search Covidex. Covidex. You'll get the real story, the true story about that medicine. Just from the local medicine. Local medicine. Because some of them is said, and we know the local medicine, the one is keeps on mentioning. But he did not tell us that, he did not tell people the whole what? Mixture of the medicine. But the medicine worked, and it saved life here. It was approved by the president. Even when he fell sick, the president, okay, you first use it on yourself. And the man used it and he got fine. The real owner of that medicine also got sick of COVID. And he used it for treating himself. And he got fine. He is still there. So when I see some individuals talking about that, these local herbs are bad, these local herbs are actually saving the life of people outside there. And they work. They work. So when you see people who talks about, like I saw Kohera, that local medicine and what, and I saw this stupid one calling himself the lion. You stop deceiving people and misleading the public. When somebody is using the medicine to treat him or herself, or to treat somebody outside there, that is not killing, or that is not deleting somebody. You are treating and you are saving a life, which is very important. For me, when I'm sick and somebody give it to me, I'll accept the local medicine. I'll take it. Because me, I keep on buying this one for cough and flu. I buy on the streets there, they sell. And I can assure you they're very much active than the ones in the pharmacies for flu and cough. Very much, they sell them. And actually, yesterday I passed in a place where there was a lot of dust. And today I feel like my nose is starting to block, and, tomorrow I might end up buying one. Because they're there in the streets. Don't need even to look for them. They're on the streets. Even when you go to pharmacies, they're there. They're selling them. So when you see individuals like this so-called the lion misleading the public, yet actually most of them, they're using those medicines. Me particularly, I don't know the medicine. I don't know the local medicine for treating people. But on the streets, or when you go to these pharmacies, they're selling them there. You ask me, I want a local medicine for flu, because these days they are purified. Can I call it being purified? They package them. That's how the level they have reached now. And they are being approved by National Drug Authority here in my country. They approve them. And they work. So when you see the so-called the lion talking, is actually speaking out of ignorance. Ignorance. You know, there are people who actually will deceive you, that actually do not take that medicine. My friend, take the medicine, first be fine, then you'll sort out the rest later. You know, if they tell you if you eat pork, you will not be sick. You know, in Muslim they call it haram. Is it haram? If they tell you if you eat pork, you'll be sick. You know, if you eat this pork, you'll be fine. You first eat it, save your life. Then you sort out the other issues later. First save your life. You know, don't wait. You see, there are people who are really so primitive, you know, that me, I'm not going to take. Like, you see, there are actually people here in Uganda here. Somebody can give you poison, you know, the real poison. And there are people who know the real local medicine. You know, leaves. They mix for you those leaves and they give you to take the leaves. Let me tell you, you will get fine of poison. They are there. So, okay, if it is such a scenario, you know, somebody wanted to delete you, have decided to use such a thing, you know, and somebody is telling you this is the medicine. You know, do you know there are people who can go to the hospital, you know, because somebody have given you a wrong thing and you have eaten, and when you go to the hospital, yes, you are trying, probably you are improving just, but the thing is not clear, and yet actually when you go to these local medical people here, let me tell you, it will clear off. You know, sometimes when we talk like this, people may not understand. They're actually there. You know, those people who give those medicines, they're actually there. Even these snake bites, maybe malaria, they have even medicine for malaria, you know, local medicine, and they will give you and you will get fine. So when you see the group of the lion talking, you see, there are people who just want to look for relevancy, you know, relevancy. And you see, you first save your life, you know. If they tell you this medicine works, and you have been hearing stories that it has ever healed people, so why don't you first get fine? Then you sort out that, you know, the other part of it now later. Because you never know, you might have a testimony. Because people were actually able to talk, to speak. When Professor Guang, that medicine was helping people. People were appreciating him, people were congratulating him, and thanking him for saving millions and millions of Ugandans. You know, some of this medicine, when they're discovered here, those whites, they don't want people to talk about them, you know. But yet our people here are actually getting the real medicine to treat people here, you know. So don't be fooled, don't be deceived that actually whoever knows the local medicine, you are now a native doctor. No. So if you know the medicine that can cure a cough, what's the problem with that? You know? And this so-called the lion is, you know, saying, you know, so and so he's now becoming a native doctor. He's rescuing a life bird, you know? He's rescuing a life bird. You see, that type of ignorance is actually what is destroying us here. You know? Me personally, I don't believe in taking a lot of this medical medicine from the hospital or the rest. You know, I don't, you know, if I have a chance to get the local medicine, somebody can give me that this one can work for you, I rather take the local medicine than actually going to this one for the hospital, where they are piercing your body, you know, every body, every part of injection. I rather go for the local medicine. So don't be deceived. Anyway, apart from that, I have been seeing the so-called the lion crying on his platform that actually people want to finish him. And he was playing a clip where the fisherman or the kintu was actually threatening to beat him up. And the fisherman was being held by Mayani and a group of individuals trying to block, the fisherman from going to beat the so-called the lion. But the lion was like, you people, you leave him, let him come here. If he's a man, you can now see where things have reached. And all the things are coming up just because of individuals outside there who are actually promoting wrong things. There are people who are actually financing these things. Donors who are causing commotion. Donors who are spreading hate. Let me tell you something. There are people who actually enjoying seeing division in the village. And the so-called the lion thought he was on top of everybody, talking so badly about the family of the travel commando and abusing the entire family. Let me tell you, there is something people always keep on saying, that actually karma is real. The fighting that these people now are starting to resort to, and theirs is now becoming physical, real physical, where somebody wants to beat the other just because of donation. You remember the Sierra Leone guy who came to the village, the so-called the fisherman and the lion, they are still fighting over that man. There is even a rumor that in where the fisherman has constructed, the extension where he's constructing the house, that guy of the Sierra Leone contributed some part on that part, addition of that part of the house. The lion had bought a piece of land in that where he constructed his house, the original house. But on the extension where he's building, that Sierra Leone guy added him some money to give to the owner of that piece of land. It is not quite a big one. Now, that is where the problem is. The so-called the fisherman is attacking the lion because of that piece of land. He wants the lion to actually release the money that was given to him to purchase that small piece of land, in addition on what he was having. That is what is sparking a lot of issues between the fisherman and the lion. From the time that man from Sierra Leone, who actually came from the USA, arrived in that village, there has been a lot of commotion, a lot of mingling between the fisherman and the lion. Remember, the lion chased this Sierra Leone guy from his home that he used to come late, and he used not to respect him. And he decided to chase that man from his home. That pained that man. And the fisherman decided to do things with his chase, having a feeling that he will be in position to destroy the lion. The fisherman had the intention to completely destroy the lion. And he has not given up. He is still plotting day and night to actually destroy the lion. You see, the lion used to talk while he's swelling a lot, with a lot of energy, a lot of vigor, that actually is unstoppable. But now I'm seeing the way he's starting to talk in his platform with a lot of calmness, with a lot of fear. You know, even these days he fears to move at night, claiming that his life is actually under risk. These are the things that this individual started long time ago to other families that were not even abusing them, that were not even attacking them. Now the ball has rotated around. They are now fighting themselves. They are even almost going physical. Physical. You can imagine. Real physical. And the so-called other negative reactors have abandoned them. That sort out yourself. There is nobody coming out to talk about it, or even to advise them that please resolve your issues amicably. You know, me, I sympathize sometimes with this group of people, because actually fighting is not going to solve anything. But because they have been very, very bad-minded, if they want to go physical, let them go. Because that is what they believe in. Let them go. Me, I'm here to enjoy the drama. Because we are tired dealing with stupid people. People who don't take advice. You know? The family of the travel commando is setting a very good example in the village. But they cannot see that. The only thing they can resort to is to throw a lot of words, a lot of accusation to this family to try to destroy them, which is actually very, very alarming. So now when they are reaching a point of fighting themselves, you know, let them go, because that is what they feel it is best to resolve their conflicts. That is actually what they know. That is why you are always seeing the fisherman moving in the gates of the travel command. That he has the energy to fight. He has the energy to do nonsense. That type of provocation is not going to take him anywhere. He's just trying to provoke his family to do something for him so that he can get attention and people will start looking at him like he's a better person, you know, which is failing to get from this family. It is really very, very alarming to see what is starting to happen in this village. The platform was brought in peace to spread love and togetherness in this village. So the so-called negative reactors resorted to make it look like it is a place of destroying others. It's a place to fight others. It's a place to diminish others. Now the ball is on their coats, and some of them have started crying. You know, the so-called lion has come out and saying the fisherman is very busy, insulting him and saying his mother is using the most worst toilet on earth, which actually might be true, because the lion felt so bad with that statement. But if you know it is actually bad, why can't you do something to save that? Why can't you do something? You know, you decided to sell off the land, the ancestral land from the village, and use the money for the construction of his own house. And yes, yet is leaving his own mother suffering very, very badly. You know, why can't you do something actually to help your own mother? Coming out to your platform to cry, looking for donation, is not going to help you. You know, these bad-minded individuals, they actually even don't have a right to come to their platform and start crying like a child. Because these are some of the things that these individuals actually they do. Threatening people, you know, abusing people. Those are the things they know best. Now, they're starting to fight among themselves. The confusion is now rotating among them. Now let them learn from there that whatever you do to people will be done to you. And now they are doing those things to themselves. People used to claim that they are friends. You know, I have seen the so-called Mayan, you know, abusing the so-called the lion like never before. Calling him all sorts of names, that the reason why he was taken in prison, it is because the lion and the so-called Kukuman joined hands together to go and report him at the police station. And it's the reason why he was arrested and locked. Let me tell you, the one you claim you trust will betray you. Just the same thing that is happening to Mayuguno. Mayuguno has seen days just because of poor-minded individuals who are too rigid in life, who actually want things for themselves. And now they are starting to turn against Mayuguno, and they want right this. But God is not sleeping. Mayuguno is coming out of this very, very strongly like never before. And these individuals, they'll be ashamed of themselves. You know, they will actually be ashamed of themselves. I have seen the Bugoma woman coming out and condemning the princess of constructing a very huge house, you know, starting to construct a very huge house, yet she is not a person of people. She does not welcome people in their homes. You know, let me tell you, I'm really wondering why Bugoma woman is starting to cry. Why are you now starting to throw words? You are the very person who used to say, the princess does not have the money. You are the one who is rich. You are the one who can be in position to construct a better house. Now when she's starting to construct this house, you are starting to cry. Why are you crying? Why are you starting to feel jealous? That she does not need this house. She does not need to construct such a house because she's not a woman of people. This is laughable. Is she not the very person who used to diminish, talk so badly about her, calling her all sorts of names, calling her how she's broke, how she does not have the money, how she's not rich, how she's... And now after seeing the type of house that the princess is constructing, let me tell you, it is more than I think it's like a 5-star hotel in the village. In the village. And some of these individuals, they are not even believing now what they are seeing. We used to tell them that you will bury your heads on the mud. When you talk badly about people, you don't know what they're actually capable of. Now you are starting to see that actually she's starting to do wonders. She's starting to build a very, very magnificent house. This is going to be one of the most unique houses in actually a whole of Kenya. It is going to be one of, you know, because I have got to realize that she's actually very, very determined to build such a house like never before. Individuals will be ashamed of themselves. Those who used to criticize her and talk about her, like they saw Coco Mama, you know, she has been in position to, you know, to bring a story that is actually meant to divide the family. Because she's starting to see that these people are progressing and things are starting to move in a very, very strong direction. And you see, a stupid old man came out and picked up a story that this old woman came out with to try to cause confusion in the family of the travel command. And this confusion is not going to succeed, as I'm going to play for you from the clip that is actually coming. So you understand the confusion that these people are trying to spread to cause division between the travel commando and the princess, which they will not succeed. Because the accusation these individuals are trying to throw towards the princess is actually to cause harm, so that commotion start happening between this family, and the progress of that construction should actually stop. That is what they're trying to drive at, which I know exactly they will not succeed. I want us first to listen to this clip, and then when I come back, we are going to continue from there very, very strongly. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this platform, and don't forget to put a notification bell so that actually you will move together. Let's watch this clip, and then let me come back.
According to her, is that Mwango is not respecting Rosho, because she comes when the lunch has been prepared. She takes all the lunch and eats without leaving any piece of food to this lady. And also at the supper, she also eats the whole food. And remember, that is Rosho's house. And then this lady now, according to Madam Kokomangma, when this lady reports it to Marwa, when Rosho, the wife, reports it to Marwa, Marwa does not seem to take any reaction to protect his wife, in the sense that it is perceived that Marwa and Mwango have very close bonds. They love one another, in that whatever Mwango advises him, he will follow, even to an expense of his wife. How can you allow your wife to go without food because of your sister? How can you do that? Even if you love one another in animal, if she loves you, she has to love even the wife. And let me tell you, our cultures differ. Rosho is not an African. It is only in Africa where you can find a lady like Rosho using thorax, now living in a home by force. But this is a European, this is a white lady who has never been used to brutality. She doesn't know brutality. She doesn't know what. She's a kind of a lady maybe who had been loved by her parents throughout her life. And here comes where everybody is now behaving like a husband. Maybe Mwango is blackmailing her, telling her that, you see, I must eat this food and you do what you want to do. Don't you know that you are my brother's wife, and I will eat this food and you do nothing to me? Now she can just stamp. Do you think you are building your brother's family, or you are destroying it?
I just want to bring this old man to speed. You see, there are actually families that the issue of food is no longer a problem. I understand this old man is still struggling in terms of food, even just the way you look at him. You know, there are people, food, what is called food now is not actually a problem, because they can be in position to buy anything that they actually want. You see, the travel commando, if actually the wife is having difficulties in maybe eating and the rest, which is not actually true, because these individuals, they just want to frame a story that can touch somebody's heart, to make to create a picture that actually these individuals are not doing the right thing. This is actually what these people are trying to create. But you see, the truth is, the fight that these people are trying to instigate here is not actually going to succeed, you know? It is not going to succeed, you know? What these people are trying to instigate here is actually trying to separate this family. But see, it is very hard to separate people who love themselves. Because actually, there is no bad blood between the princess and Rossio. It is not there, you know? But these people want to bring stories, you know? You know, somebody who is bad-minded, somebody sits, creates something, and come out with it to make it look like it is actually true, you know? That there's a problem. What is actually disturbing these people is that building, that construction site that is starting to take shape. That is what they hate seeing. These are enemies of progress. Now you can imagine the type of house that the princess is actually building. And you first look at the food they are talking about and look at the bigger picture of what the princess is actually doing and look at the food they are talking about. You know, because actually if the princess wants, she can even go and rent somewhere and even stay, and you know, she can drive herself coming to monitor, you know, to monitor the construction, you know. So these individuals are just trying to create a very, very wrong picture outside there to their stupid viewers that actually there is a problem, you know. You know, the wife of the travel commando is not eating well. The wife, that woman is well catered for, you know. You cannot tell me the travel commando can leave his family to suffer. No, that is crap for people actually who don't understand. You know, people who are bad-minded. They want to, when they have problems of food in their homes, they have a feeling that even somebody's home should have the same problem. The issue of food is not actually the problem. The problem here these individuals are having, these bad-minded individuals, is actually seeing the progress that is happening right now. Because some of them thought that construction is not going to take shape. But now when they started seeing that actually things are coming, things are moving in the right direction, they want to look for ways how to create a problem. They want to look for ways how to make that kind of, to cause some confusion. Whenever there is success, there are always people who want to pull others down. And that is what these individuals are trying to create here. You know, there are people who is saying, why should you go and build such a house in the village? Why should you, you know, why should you build such a house in the village? If you don't want to develop your own village, who is going to develop it for you? And the Tribal Commando the other day made it very, very clear. You talk, meanwhile you are seeing us doing it. Talk. You keep on lamenting. You will lament until you get tired. When people are transforming their villages, development, now look at the construction site. Even women are there. They are very busy working. Because they are sure at the end of the day, they are going to get some payment of which they go and help their families. You know, this is a lot of job opportunity that these people have created in the village. But the bad-minded people like this so-called the old man, you know, who is always dropping himself into things like a butterfly. He does not understand. He does not appreciate the development that is starting to happen in this community. No? And all this, it is because of this family that has been spearheaded, you know, with the guidance of the travel command. Things are actually moving in a very, very wonderful direction. The top mansion, the travel commando, is actually doing the right thing, you know, in ensuring that he provide the necessary support to his own sister, you know, so that all things goes on well, and is very, very much determined and is focused to ensure that things move in the right direction. So these bad-minded individuals, you will not succeed. With the confusion that you are trying to create, you will not succeed. You know, your plot will fail, and I can assure you, the much development that is coming right now, it is unstoppable. Whether you like it or not, you will not stop it Whether you want to talk from morning up to evening, you will not succeed in stopping what is starting to go on, because these people are very, very much determined. And also, the junior is starting to construct his. I think he said this coming month he's going to start another layer. You know, appreciate and accept that you have been challenged. Bugoma woman, you are being challenged, and stop talking nonsense. Just accept the fact that actually these people are far much ahead of you 100 times, and you may not even be in position to reach there, because what you will be thinking of is what they have already accomplished in life. Exactly. So whether you like it or not, your drama will keep rotating within you, just like the way the so-called the negative reactors in the village are starting to fight themselves. Let them fight, because that is what they know best. Please, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment, and please always come back to watch my videos. I would really want to encourage you, good people outside there. Let's keep on praying for the princess, so that this construction site goes very, very smoothly until it's over in peace, because the money she's using for this construction, she really works so hard for it. All of us who have been in position to observe with our eyes, and nobody will come out to throw accusation, towards her, calling her all sorts of names, just like the way they try to call the travel commander. The princess is very, very much determined, and that construction site is going to go in peace, and all will be well in Jesus' name. I would really want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have been in position to listen, to listen and to watch this video. I really appreciate your big support always to this platform. Today actually I was planning to have a live stream, but there's a way my voice is not so much clear because of the flu that I'm starting to develop. But I'll try to ensure that I work on it as quick as possible. Thank you so much, my good people. I really want to send my greetings to all of you watching me from UK, Canada, all of you from the USA, and not forgetting all my good people from the Caribbean, and not forgetting here our good people here in Africa. Thank you so much for always standing up to watch my videos. I really do appreciate your big support to this platform. Food, when you see people who are still thinking of food, that is where their reasoning capacity stop. At 75 you're still thinking of food. Those are fools. Just leave them and let's continue with life. Thank you so much, my good people. Let's meet again in our next video. God bless all of you.